Yo, what's up? Welcome to this episode of Inspiration, and this time from the Runway. This is a Runway news report on Comme Des Garcons, spring 2015. So I just want to talk about this collection because I think Rei Kawakubo, I've said 100,000 times before, is one of the most influential people, if not the most influential person in fashion right now. And she based her collection for spring on the concept of blood and roses. Now, when I look at this collection, I see a lot of things. Two things specifically. I see what looks like intestines and organs and someone who's maybe been shot and is bleeding, and then I see roses and rosettes and kind of some looking back at roses and flowers, like amazing flower shapes out of silks and satins and leatherettes and all that kind of stuff. And then you see there's a couple of these insane huge hoods that feel, almost like Little Red Riding Hood, almost like, is that a call to innocence? Almost like, Ku Klux Klan or something really scary and kind of dark like that, or a Grim Reaper, or a monk, or many kind of, there's so many references you can put for these big, huge, crazy, pointy, almost kind of rain hoods that she showed on her runway. So when she was speaking backstage, Miss Kawakubo said that roses were kind of the main thing because she wanted to find something beautiful in what's disturbing and that we're living in disturbing, unhappy times. Now, her last collection for menswear was also kind of making an anti-war conversation, and a lot of what she's been doing kind of relates back to the First World War and what the artists and with the Dada and the Surrealists were kind of doing their version of going against politics and war and government and what they were believing was the right thing to do at the time, which was war, and the unresting times that they were in. Again, there's been a lot of kind of references back to 70s Vietnam situation and the political unrest and protesting that happened then, that also coincided with women's liberation. So I think that Rei Kawakubo would never ever want to make a political statement or ever say she was making a political statement, but I think that there is something to be said when one of the most powerful people in fashion is talking about the fact that people are unhappy and they're troubling times. So I'm happy that someone as influential as she is kind of pointing a finger, not pointing a finger, but putting a magnifying glass on something happening in our world, and just kind of looking at the violence and trying to make it into something beautiful. I think that's a really important thing for any designer or creative to do. And to, my whole thing is that when you put intention, when you put attention towards something as explosive as violence and blood and guts and, something like that, and you try to make it into something beautiful that other people can kind of become aware. I think a lot of the time people think fashion is a vapid and shallow world, and the people who are the most influential are not. They're actually intellectuals who are thinking and like to reflect an idea of what's happening emotionally and in culture at the time. So I think Rei Kawakubo did that beautifully with this collection. I love some of the rosettes. I love how she mixed the vinyl with other different textures with the fabric. There are some amazing big coats. I do love the hoods, even though they're very kind of sinister vibe. I love the shoe. I think she did an incredible job with this collection. So take a look. The collection was all red with a little bit of white. There are a couple prints that almost look like blood splatters, like someone had been shot. So, I just think I don't know, what do you guys think about taking the idea of war and violence and trying to make it into something beautiful and trying to turn it into something, turn something that's so negative into a positive? I like the idea of how do we take this and eliminate it or make it into something gorgeous. So well done, good job, Rei Kawakubo. I love you as always, and this Comme Des Garcons collection is a complete piece of artwork in my opinion, and I'm so happy that she is putting attention on this. So yay, Rei Kawakubo and Comme Des Garcons spring 2015. I don't know what's going to end up in the store, and I don't know who's going to wear these clothes, but I kind of hope in some weird sick way that Anna Del Russo is running around in this collection next season, because it'll even bring more attention to the fact that people like Rei Kawakubo and myself and other people in the art fashion world want peace instead of war. So that's always a good message, and let's make it a trend. And I'll see you guys on the next episode here on my YouTube channel. Check you later.